Hi all, welcome to my Game Week 412 squads. We have quite a lot to delve into, 15 squads on all this game week with quite a few squads that are throwaway squads, but nonetheless we're still hopeful for a good return and see what it brings from there. I'm being a bit ambitious with Cap 240 being a 4-man team. Obviously I'm assuming Shibuya isn't going to be playing tomorrow. I've prioritised Champion Asia instead. I've tried to get the balance about right, and it's hard enough said than done, but I still feel 240 could still get a good score, but we'll delve into the squad anyway. So MLS Amateur, Burkey, Lima, Hector Herrera, Vasquez and Nagbe. I've slipped up I think right off the bat. I think Herrera's banned and I've actually stuck with him. So, and we only had 5 players anyway, so if it worst it would have been 4. So it's like, even with a 4-man team, you would literally need 100 plus from, like, you need your 100 points plus whatever percentage bonus on top. 270 Esqueta, Mel, Alextea, Waldo and Enric. Tenerife made 8 changes at the weekend, backfired horribly. Strong teaming, I would assume, tonight, and hopefully, despite being Racing Santander is who they're facing, Tenerife and Racing can get a result that fits all parties. Challenger, we don't have a team. Joys of Hibs not in Europe, but even then I wouldn't have anyone anyway. If I was to really kind of dive into, like, say, like midweek utility with, say, like Lask for example, if funds were really that good in my favour. 240 Shibuya could play. That's why I've put him in, because even though Wood should probably start, I've still wanted to at least put a goalie that could start in 240. Leon, Corredera, Otero and Christian. Corredera should score well, same with Otero if he's firing. Like, it has potential to make 280 anyways, and I would just take it and run. It'd be like 3-4 weeks in a row of like threshold, so I wouldn't complain. Asia, Wood, Behic, Arslan, Zivkovic and Simrot. Simrot will play shortly. Should be in the squad anyway. Arslan seems to be very good for all round in when they played Kofu, and I fancy the same again if I'm honest. So we'll see how that goes. Champion America, we tried to get ourselves a goalie, didn't happen, and like the problem is they're all, like, trying to get yourself a guaranteed starter is a bit harder said than done. With Real Salt Lake not playing this game week just made things a lot harder. But what can you do? Just joys of only having one starting goalie in the MLS. But you can only work with what you have. 220 Burkey, Leon, Lestien, Higano and John Gallagher has a real potential actually. Giving, like, kept the Leon of one as the reward for, might as well get him used. Higano showing a bit of form off the bench, 2 goals in back-to-back games. Lestien, out of the 5, like out of the 4 limited I should say, I feel could score the best. I feel Lestien, when motivated, could legitimately score 100 points in these kind of games and it would not be a shock. All-Stars, bit of a throwaway. Camacho, Godoy, Casper and Finlay. Casper's just not going to get game time as much. He'll probably get some time off the bench, and before all 5 just happen to play, that would be a right laugh, and all play the best games of their lives. Second division, bit of a throwaway in the end, because Nadal I don't expect to start over Soriano. Nacho, Michael Meza, Ortuno and Frank Queza. MLS Pro, Burkey, Stairs, Quignon, Herbers and Bedoya. I probably should have maybe made All-Star a little bit better, but it's no big deal. Academy team's just a mix of players playing, players not playing. So like 1 and 2 is just for XP. Team 3 is just Alonso Mirawan and Unda Barrena just to see how they do. 220, we have our first rare 220 team. We've gone with Ruben Yanez, Sten Vorden, Iskandarov, who's playing just now as well. This is getting done. Utaka and Dumitru. I thought Iskandarov as captain seemed the best shout. He is playing striker, and I thought as long as he gets a decisive, he should score well, and that was my logic. I thought the team has a chance, there's no denying. It's just hope and pray that Yanis keeps a clean sheet, same for Sten Vorden, and just hope and pray Utaka and Dumitru can get decisive. Really, that's what you're kind of relying on in that one. It doesn't help Kofu's kind of where we're I like between Kofu, Melbourne City and that we've got eyes on. Kick-off here, we ended up with it's basically a 3-man team. It's just players that couldn't play anywhere, and we probably should have actually gave Kick-off here a little bit more love. I probably should have put Herbers in this team, but it wasn't going to matter anyway because we've not got a starting goalie. So Nagishi, Sergio Gonzalez, Latalek, Vukic and Sekine. Like using a bit of rewards in Sekine, but I'll probably for like next time maybe put a bit more like readjustments so I can maybe try and field a better, like say kick-off rare team. Might be for 413, 414, whatever, but because all the players we have are AFC Champions League players, they won't have a use for a couple of weeks, for a few weeks, so it's just a wait and see game. What I'll quickly do as well, folks, is just quickly talk about Soraredata, give that a bit of quick love, and then we'll wrap up the video from there. So with Soraredata, as you can see, we are You're Good 1 times tier 1. Just a pity that we didn't nail down more game weeks with like what we've done. So You're Good tier 1, we finished second in Austria, getting ourselves a tier 1. Be interesting to see what we end up with. As we said, Turkey, like we finished 32nd, getting 77% accuracy. We were 200 odd predictions less than others, and if I'm honest, if we managed to actually get all our predictions in, because we had problems with Belgium, we had problems with I think Eredivisie and Turkey, especially if we had those 3 leagues kind of ticked off, then like Turkey were 200 predictions alone missing. If we'd got all of them in, looking at the points, like 200 points, 200 predictions, you'd probably give or take say 100 anyway, so like we really missed out badly on a rare for Challenger, but it is what it is really, and just dust ourselves down and say to ourselves we go again in October. And but I feel like now if we can start off the month well, there's a good chance that we can build a steady flow of rewards, and a tier 1, if I'm honest, is really going to help the funds massively. I don't know when we get it, but I won't complain. Obviously starts this game week coming with all of like I'll quickly dive into that. So as it says total rewards 1 of it, and it actually says it would be good to actually get it given to us. So 412, it might have updated already. Yeah, 2 points, which we got for Nav Bahor. But joys of doing the video when we do it. But yes, we've got every player accounted for at the moment, and I've really tried to go through play sharper as best I can. Like MLS Smart Bank is going to be hard anyway, and like the European matchday squads is just tricky in their own right, but we've tried to nail them down as best as we can, and like hopefully even if we're not the strongest for this, like we noticed that in the first like say game week, even though we weren't in contention early, we'd managed to hopefully make inroads early to try and give ourselves a chance of being up there, and that's what we're kind of relying on. Is even if the first game week's not quite the plan, we've got like enough game weeks from like 413, 414, like 413 we're going to start early, but 414, 415, 416, I'd like to just get them done and dusted early, because they're nice and easy, nothing too strenuous. You can pretty much do them in probably an hour, and worry about, as I said, 413, 417, 418, and wrap up with 419. So there's a lot of big game weeks, a lot of busy game weeks, so it's just trying to be smart with what we need to do. I'm intrigued if 420 actually falls into it. Like, I'm really intrigued. If it does, then it's really going to be hard, because then we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, nearly 9 game weeks. That's kind of like, just feels very busy. In fact, 411 does, because 411 falls into the month. Sorry, yeah. So yeah, 412 to 4. That's going to be hard. There's a lot of folk going to either drop out early, or the ones that are committed aren't going to be full firing. So we're going to have to be smart. We have to be patient. But as we would say, if there's a specific region that we're starting off well, so say Champion Asia, we're firing, then might as well stick with it and just keep going. If the region we have a definitive chance of being up there, then I'll do it. I'd rather just put all my eggs in the one basket, saying, oh, when Asia's outperforming everything else, I ain't going to get rewards in other, like say Champion Europe or Challenger. Or if a league, like I have noticed some of the leagues I can keep going, individual leagues, so I wouldn't exactly then throw it aside, but we'll see how it goes. But hopefully you find that all useful. But let me know, folks, how your Soraredata and Sorare stuff's all going. Take care, y'all. Thanks for listening, and I will catch you all later.